Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I am so happy to have you here. Today we are going to be talking about anxiety, okay? Some of you guys might be familiar with anxiety, and for me, I didn't really know I had anxiety until I was hospitalized for it. I think it was around December, the beginning of December of 2023 is when I went to the hospital for an anxiety attack. So my experience with that is I was alone, I was by myself, I drove myself to the hospital, and it was a very scary experience for me. I don't really go into like my background, but I do want to be a lot more transparent on my channel because that's what we're here for. We're here to learn from each other, and I'm here to share my story with you guys. So I don't really have a traditional background. You know, I don't have a mom, I don't have a dad, you know, so I'm pretty much a young orphaned adult. And my family members that I do have, I don't really come from the most healthy environment. So I don't have a lot of healthy role models and people just showing me, you know, positivity and growth and healing. I don't really have that. So I've had to break away from toxic family dynamics. So with that being said, all of that is really easy for me to get overwhelmed. And I've learned that that's why it's good to know yourself, because I feel like once you know yourself, you know your weak points. For me personally, I've learned that it's easy for me to get overwhelmed and frazzled. It's easy for me to stress. And this isn't the first time that I was in the hospital for stress. So the way I was living before, I was putting myself in very stressful situations. I'm a lover, I'm a giver. That's just who I am as a natural. And it's been to the detriment of me and my health. So I learned that if I don't take care of myself and put myself first, I will be putting myself in so many harmful situations with people, places, and things. That anxiety attack I had completely changed my life. It's been 2 months since my anxiety attack, almost 2 months and a half, probably 3 months. And it completely changed the course of my life. Completely, 100%. So I felt like I had to make a change. Something had to give. So when it came down to me, it's just the stress of having to take care of myself. I have a lot of responsibility, and I've had a lot of responsibility at a young age. My camera is about to die, and that's so annoying. So we'll just record until my camera dies. But I had a lot of responsibility placed on me at a young age, with my mom being sick and then my mom eventually passing away about 5 years ago. And so I've realized that that has been like such a burden on me. And not only that, having to navigate the world in my early 20s without support, without traditional support. So having that anxiety attack, it made me go all in with my personal health and my healing. I have been doing anything that I can and trying to find out as much information as I can to heal myself because of how scary it is. If you've ever had a panic attack, you know how scary it is. And sometimes it could be so bad that it really debilitates you from doing daily stuff. And I found that after the anxiety attack, it was just that one big anxiety attack, but then even after that, I had to work through so much of that trauma because I would have many panic attacks throughout the day. That I remember it was one day where I was just extremely anxious and I couldn't do anything but just lay down and listen to a guided meditation. And there was only one guided meditation that worked for me. I'll probably link it down below because it was so helpful. The lady's voice was so peaceful for me, and that was the only thing that could help me relax. That's how bad it was. And here we are 2.5 months later, and I'm feeling so much better and so much stronger. The fact that I've been able to heal myself on such a level and in such a effective amount of time, I have to share this with you guys. I have to share this with someone who might be going through having anxiety attacks, and it's debilitating to their lives and taking so much life and fun away from their lives. So I'm going to share with you guys what has really been helping me through this journey heal my anxiety. I think one of the first things, I think like a couple weeks before I had my anxiety attack, I reached out to a counselor because I felt like I needed help. I felt like I needed extra help. I needed to turn to someone because for a whole entire year I had pretty much isolated myself and didn't really open up to anyone. And so I was like, okay, it's time for me to take matters into my own hands and take matters into my well-being. So I got hooked up with a counselor to talk about my feelings, and that was so hard. I was nervous. I didn't know how the experience was going to be because 4 years prior, when my mom first passed, I had tried to go to a therapist, a counselor at my college, and I went there for one session, and I remember just not having a good experience because I had so many of my own issues. I remember getting upset and mad at her for her just being positive and smiling. So I wasn't ready for the healing journey then, and I was also young, going to college. So at some points you'll find yourself going where you need to on, like, it has to be a certain, like, I feel like certain things happen when the timing is right. And I feel like doubling back, 4 years later, here I am going back to counseling, and I'm way more receptive to counseling versus where I was before. So I've came a long way, and sometimes it can be really hard to forget just how far you came. And I know it's easy for me to forget that. I don't know what it is about me, but it's hard for me to celebrate those small wins. And that's why I get overwhelmed all the time, because I'm such a big picture person, a visionary person, that could be to my own detriment as well. So there are some things that have been helping me heal my anxiousness with just daily life. Okay, some people have anxiety from one thing or a specific situation. For me, I felt like it was the weight of my entire situation, my entire life. I've had failed relationships in the past, failed friendships, failed relationships with my family members. And it was really hard, and I'm also grieving my mom and grieving my old life. It was just overwhelming for me. So having an anxiety attack was the result of that. So if I did not have that though, if I wasn't in the hospital and had experienced that alone, I would not have been so serious about changing my life and putting myself first and putting my health first, something I had never done because I had given so much to other people. And I know that some of you guys can relate, giving yourself to people, giving all of yourself. If you're a natural lover, a natural giver, and you just want to give your all to people, you know that by the end of it, you're drained. And while your heart is so big, your body is still limited, and we still are humans. And sometimes we have to remind ourselves that my heart might be so big and I might want to be there for everybody and in every situation, but can your body take that? We are mind, body, and soul. And so to come into alignment with that, with your mind, body, and soul, is peace and harmony, which is what I've been seeking ever since my anxiety attack. I'm like, okay, this is not it. I need some peace and harmony in my life. Something has got to give. We have got to balance out these energies, because if not, I'm gonna continue to be hospitalized, and ain't no telling where I would be. I would probably lose my mind. So it's certain things that I had to do and sacrifice in order to put myself in a position where my well-being is taken care of. I started co-creating with my counselor and taking her suggestions for what she felt like I needed for my life. And at the time, I told her I didn't have a sleeping schedule. I was going to sleep at like 4 or 5 a.m., sometimes 8 a.m. every day. And I would wake up super late in the afternoon, and I just felt like that was so bad for my mental health. Not only that, what I will say is when you start therapy and counseling, what it has been for me is it has, honestly, the entire process has felt like an onion. This whole healing process is not just a quick fix, and that's what I thought it was. I thought that I was going to talk to a counselor, she was going to help me with this specific thing, and that was just going to be it. No, absolutely not. It could not be furthest from the truth. That is not how that happened. If anything, it opened more wounds and more wounds and more wounds, and at this point it has spiraled. I think I've been going to counseling for 3 to 4-ish months. It has spiraled into something completely different. So when I started with her, I actually was having like really terrible dreams. I couldn't sleep. I only had got like 4 hours of sleep. Like, it was really brutal, and I didn't understand why my body was going through that. But I realize now later that my body is going through healing. She told me that she basically told me that I should have a better sleeping schedule. And that day I decided, you know what? I'm gonna go to bed at midnight instead of going to bed at 4 a.m. So once I made that decision to go to bed at midnight, it was hard at first, but then it became easier and easier. Next thing you know, I'm going to bed around 9 p.m. and 9 or 10 p.m. every night. So that really helped me. Another thing that really helped me with my anxious thoughts is moving around. So after getting a decent sleep schedule going on from how I was sleeping before to kind of having a better situation and a better sleep pattern, I decided that I'm going to go to the gym. And it started with me just trying to get out of the house because I had got such in a space of negative thinking and ruminating that also contributed to my anxiety as well. So I started going to the gym and moving around and moving my body and trying new classes and doing new things. And I started going to the gym in the morning, and it really helped me to have a schedule to follow and to have my body follow something that feels natural and in alignment with me. So no longer am I just sitting there thinking the entire day away. I actually have some things to do and some things planned in my day. So I started going to the gym and I fell in love with it. And we go to the gym every single day, Monday through Friday, and it's become kind of a routine. So once you build those habits over time, it'll become easier. In the beginning, it might not be as easy. You gotta kind of push yourself, but you gotta think about where you are and how you want to heal yourself, how important that is to you for you to feel better, because it's not fun when you have anxiety. You know this, I know this, we both know this. We don't want it. Another thing that helped my anxiety was journaling, and I actually have this journal here. This journal is just the journal that I started writing in when I started therapy, and it has really helped me process my emotions and my feelings. Some people don't really like to write, and that's understandable. I started small. I just started writing, and like I said, it becomes second nature. Now I write almost every single day, and this journal has been the journal that has gotten me through my most anxious times. So I went ahead and I took this journal and I created a journal for you guys, and I have 20 guided prompts in there for you during this transformational period of your lives, because usually when we're going through so much transformation and so much change and grief or whatever, might be when the anxiety pops up the most. And I find that because I'm shifting into a new identity, not having parents, not having supportive family, and things didn't turn out the way that I thought it would be, being my age. I didn't expect my life to look like this. Since it was so hard for me to grasp, that's when the anxiety rose. So this has helped me, and I created a journal. It's called Divine Metamorphosis. It's on Amazon now. You can get yours in a link below. I'm going to put it in the link below. Like I said, it has 20 guided prompts. It has journal and reflection space, lots of it. It also has creative blank space for all of you artists out there who love to draw, doodle, color, paint, whatever you want to do with that space. You can do it. You can write, free write, whatever. That's there for you as well as change and transformational affirmations that really help me break through the anxiety and those anxious thoughts that keep me small and stuck and limited. Those affirmations were the affirmations I specifically used to help me during those freakouts, those mini freakouts. So get your copy. Let me know what you think about it. I would love to know if the journal helped you, because that's what it's made for. I didn't use a guided journal, but I did, you know, the key questions that I asked myself, just getting down to the bottom of my anxiety and becoming friendly with my anxiety. I know that sounds really crazy, but I'll explain that later. Becoming close to my anxiety, I would ask questions that would come up in my head, and I would put them down in my journal, and then I would answer them from a very vulnerable space, and it really helped me get down to the nitty-gritty. So I really hope that those guided questions help you, because that's what has helped me. So journaling is really, really good. I do recommend it during this time. Sometimes you know, you never know how it can help you. So I'm gonna share with you guys a couple more tips that has been helping me heal my anxiety, but I'm just gonna go ahead and recap, because I do feel like I am all over the place in this video. Sleeping schedule. Having a constant and consistent sleeping schedule will really help you. Move your body, exercise regularly. Gut health, that has been something that I have really been taking an interest in, simply because I want foods that make me feel good and that can heal my nervous system. So I'm a pescatarian. Based off of your dietary restrictions, you can always Google, ask your doctor what type of foods are right for you. Those foods can really help you have a peace of mind and feel safe in your body when you feel properly nourished. So that helps as well. Counseling, therapy. I also took up a grief support group. So if you can find a community that helps you feel supported during this time, find a community of like-minded people that'll help you feel safe. And so with anxiety, we have trouble with feeling safe in our bodies. That really helped me feel safe to be around other people and to be in a community of people where we're coming together for one cause. So that helps as well. Deep breathing has helped me. Prayer has helped me with this anxiety. I mean, I've done so much stuff to just really get to the bottom of why I feel the way I feel and to not be so anxious. Prayer, getting deep in my faith, whatever you believe in, getting deep in your faith gives you a sense of peace and calm. And I feel like that really helps me. Just giving my problems to God let me feel much more free and comforted and not so burdened. Also, be careful with this, but looking up certain YouTubes online, certain YouTube videos or certain information, the right information online that could really help you with your anxiety, such as nervous system regulation, exercises, stress reliefs, meditations. Those type of things really help me as well, helped me throughout my journey. I will say TikTok also helped me, but be careful with that, because I don't want you to go into analysis paralysis or obsession where you're constantly trying to figure out every little thing and you're becoming even more anxious. Like, only be intentional with what you're trying to find out, what type of information you want, and certain information will really help you with anxiety as well. That's what helped me. And then I think the biggest thing overall that helps me with my anxiety and panic attacks, the biggest thing has been, I don't know, thought reframing, nervous system regulation. So I would notice, because my thoughts would get so dark and they would really ruminate and stay. As I became aware of the thoughts that I was thinking, I was becoming separate from my thoughts, because now I'm observing, okay, this is what I'm thinking, this is how I'm thinking, this is why I'm feeling anxious, is because these thoughts are just constantly, and it could feel so overwhelming, just thoughts coming at you, especially when you're just used to having those thoughts. And then you have a sudden awareness, like, whoa, these are the thoughts that I'm thinking, and this is why I feel anxious. When you have a anxious thought or a negative thought that comes up, you look at that thought, you listen to that thought, and in that very moment, you reframe that thought. So for an example, if you get in say you have anxiety around driving, and so when you get in a car, you always think, I'm gonna get into an accident. And so you're always, I'm gonna get into an accident, I'm gonna get into an accident. And so as you say that, your actions and how you perceive driving is gonna be affected by those thoughts. Once you notice that that's what you say every single time you get in the car, it's best to really reframe that thought. So instead of saying, I'm gonna get into an accident, how about you say, I'm gonna drive safe and I'm gonna get to my destination safe. I know how to drive, I'm doing a great job, and I have nothing to worry about. Now, when you do that, when you have those thoughts, when you actually reframe your thought patterns, it takes practice. So you have to continuously do this until it becomes normal for you. So like literally, I was so anxious. I was having thoughts of like, this is what's gonna happen to me. I'm gonna be stuck here alone. I'm all alone. I have nobody to care for me. Like all these thoughts that were just coming at me and making me, like every thought that I would think would just be like a dagger in the chest. It would make me feel worse and worse and worse. And when I started to reframe those thoughts, it gave me a sense of empowerment, and it allowed me to have a peace of mind and nip those thoughts in the bud. So definitely reframe your thoughts. That has been the biggest thing that has helped me with my anxiety, is thought reframing. Reframing my beliefs as well about what I believe my life is like, what I believe, how I perceive my situation, those beliefs. Why do you feel the way you feel? Right? Is it true? Is it an illusion? Is it rational? Is it a logical response? Like, you have to ask yourself these things. And journaling, like I said, could really help. And you just like reframing yourself in the process of thinking. Like, you have to be on it. And it takes practice, and it takes, you know, effort, and over time it gets easy. So that's what's been helping me heal my panic attacks, and I hope that that can help you too. I'm so happy that I'm even able to share with you my story. This is why I love my channel so much, because I feel like we all need help sometimes, and we all need a leg up sometimes, and that's what I'm here for. Like, I'm here to keep it all the way real. This is what I wish someone would have told me and shared with me all in one video on how to heal my anxiety. It's not the end of the world. You are going to persevere and get through this. Don't think that this is where it ends for you, because it does not. I'm wishing you nothing but the best. Comment down below if any of these techniques have helped you, and if you have any more techniques that you would like to share with everyone, put it in the comments. You guys can also follow me on Instagram for different content, as well as TikTok. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.